In Texas, they're going hog wild over wild hogs. The feral animals are causing hundreds of millions of dollars of damage to crops across the state. And to help deal with the problem, state lawmakers have approved the hunting of wild hogs and coyotes from hot air balloons. People had already been allowed to shoot the animals from helicopters, but it was an expensive and ineffective way to deal with the problem.
It's just past 2 a.m. on a ranch in South Texas. A drone pilot is flying 200 feet above the brush, watching a sounder of 30 feral hogs move across his screen in glowing white heat. This is routine work. He's done it 100 nights, sitting in a folding chair in the bed of a pickup truck, a laptop balanced on his knees, the only light coming from the glow of the thermal feed. And then on the edge of his monitor, something else steps into frame. Something low, fast, and easily the size of the hogs it's stalking. He nudges the controller, tightens the zoom, and for a second he thinks it's just a big boar cutting through the group. Then it moves. In 11 seconds, it closes 40 yards, hits the back of the line, and one hog's heat signature simply stops moving. Not scatters, not runs, stops. The pilot lands the drone, hands shaking, and drives straight to the ranch office at 3 in the morning to wake the manager up. He plays the clip. The manager watches it twice, in total silence. Then he says he can't tell him what that was. Not won't. Can't. And when we reached out for this story, the ranch declined to identify the animal on camera, on record, or off it. That refusal is the reason you're watching this video. So let's start with why a ranch would ever need a thermal drone in the first place, and how that decision accidentally caught something nobody was hunting for. Texas has a hog problem that most Americans have no real sense of. The state is home to an estimated 2.5 million feral hogs, out of roughly 6 million spread across the entire country. They're not native. They're the descendants of escaped domestic pigs and imported Eurasian boar, crossbred over more than a century into an animal that's smarter than a dog, tougher than a coyote, and reproduces faster than almost any large mammal on the continent. A single sow can have 2 litters a year, 6 piglets a litter, and those piglets can start breeding before their first birthday. Run the math forward, and you get a population that can double in under 5 years, even under heavy hunting pressure. Wildlife economists have modeled it out, and the number is almost absurd. If every hog in Texas vanished tomorrow and the state started from scratch, it would take less than a decade for the population to fully rebuild itself from a single surviving cluster. The damage is staggering. Feral hogs cause an estimated $1.5 billion in agricultural losses across the U.S. every year, and Texas absorbs the largest single share of that number. They tear up hayfields overnight, root through irrigation lines, and wallow in stock ponds until the water turns to mud soup, killing fish and fouling the only water source for cattle for miles. Ranchers plant a field of milo or peanuts, and by morning it can look like it was hit by a rototiller. Rows flattened, seed dug up and eaten, months of work undone in a single dark. They raid calving pastures too. Newborn calves, still wet and unsteady on their legs, are an easy target for a hungry sounder, and more than one rancher has lost stock that way before ever laying eyes on the hogs responsible. And here's the part that makes this worse than almost any other invasive species problem in North America. Hogs are nocturnal, they're paranoid, and they learn fast. Shoot at a sounder once from a truck, and that sounder will avoid trucks for the rest of its life. Spook them with a spotlight, and within a week, they've shifted their whole feeding schedule 2 hours later. Traditional hunting barely puts a dent in the numbers. Biologists have run the models, and the consensus is brutal. Hunters would need to remove somewhere around 70% of the population every single year just to keep the numbers flat. Most counties weren't getting anywhere near that. Not close. So a few years ago, a strange new tool started showing up on ranch invoices across Texas. Not a rifle, not a trap, a drone. Specifically, a thermal imaging drone, the kind that can see a hog's body heat through total darkness and thick brush from hundreds of feet in the air, painting every warm-blooded animal on the property as a bright white shape against a cold black landscape. When the idea first circulated, plenty of ranchers and wildlife managers thought it was a gimmick. Expensive toys for a problem that needed boots on the ground, not a joystick. The early drones cost tens of thousands of dollars, and that was before you added a trained pilot, a shooter, insurance, and a truck to haul it all in. Battery life was rough. 15, 20 minutes in the air before you had to land and swap packs, which meant a single night's hunt might involve a dozen battery changes in the cold and dark. Thermal cameras struggled in heavy fog, or right after rain, when the ground itself holds heat and washes out the contrast between an animal and the dirt underneath it, turning a crisp white hog shape into a smear you can barely make out. And even when the tech worked perfectly, you still needed a shooter on the ground, or in a second aircraft ready to act on what the pilot found. It was two entirely different skill sets bolted together, flying and shooting. And very few operators in Texas actually had both at a professional level. But here's the wild part. The ranches that stuck with it started seeing something traditional hunting never delivered, night after night of consistent, large group harvests. Because hogs move in sounders, a thermal pilot doesn't find one animal. He finds 20, 30, sometimes over 100, all lit up in a single frame, completely unaware they're being watched from 400 feet above their heads. Paired with a suppressed rifle team on the ground, or on the biggest operations a helicopter gunner working the same feed in real time, a single good night could remove more hogs than a month of ground hunting used to manage. Some of the larger aerial operations in Texas now report harvest numbers in the tens of thousands of hogs per year, statewide, through drone-assisted and helicopter gunning combined. For the first time in decades, a few ranch managers actually started using a word nobody in this fight used lightly: control. It still wasn't easy. This is where the struggle really shows. Pilots talk about 6-hour shifts in freezing pre-dawn cold, staring at a grainy monochrome screen until their eyes burn and their depth perception starts playing tricks on them, chasing sounders that scatter into 100 directions the instant a shot rings out below. Equipment failures were constant in the early years, cracked props from tree strikes nobody saw coming in the dark, water damage from heavy dew soaking into electronics never designed for an open truck bed at 4 a.m., GPS drift that sent expensive aircraft ghosting sideways into fence lines and cedar breaks. Some outfits that jumped into the drone hunting business folded within 18 months, unable to make the math work between fuel, batteries, insurance premiums, and the sheer unpredictability of where hogs would even show up on any given night. Wildlife agencies were cautiously supportive but blunt about the ceiling. Even the best, most well-funded operations were at most holding the population steady in the specific areas they covered most intensively, a mile outside their coverage zone, and the hogs were breeding right back to capacity. Nobody serious was claiming victory. They were claiming survival, one exhausting night at a time. The technology kept evolving through all of this. Later generation systems started pairing thermal cameras with basic AI recognition software, trained to tell the difference between a hog's heat signature and a deer, a calf, or a family dog wandering the wrong pasture at the wrong hour. A real problem in the earliest days, when a jumpy pilot or an overeager shooter could put a shot into the wrong animal simply because everything glows the same shade of white on a screen at 200 feet. Some ranches even experimented with autonomous trap systems, cage traps rigged with cellular triggers that would text a manager's phone the second motion sensors caught a sounder moving inside, cutting down on the number of nights a human being needed to sit out in the cold at all. None of it replaced the drone entirely. If anything, it made the drone the centerpiece of the whole operation, the eye in the sky that every other tool on the ranch was starting to build around. And that's the world this footage came out of. Not some novelty stunt for a YouTube thumbnail. A genuinely exhausting, expensive, barely profitable arms race between ranchers and an animal that outbreeds almost everything else in Texas. A war fought in total darkness, one battery pack at a time. Before we get into what happened on that thermal feed, if you're new here, this is the kind of story we go looking for every week. The moments where routine fieldwork turns into something nobody expected the camera to catch. Hit subscribe and turn on notifications, because the next case we cover might be even stranger than this one. Now back to that 11-second clip. The pilot who filmed it wasn't some rookie chasing a viral moment. He'd logged hundreds of hours over that exact stretch of brush country, and he knew precisely what a hog's heat signature looks like at that altitude. The rounded, low-slung blob, the tight group movement, the way a sounder scatters in a starburst pattern the instant it senses a threat from above. What came into frame that night didn't move like a hog, and it didn't move like anything he'd cataloged in years of flying. It moved low to the ground in a fluid, stretched-out gait, muscles rolling under the heat signature, in a way that read as long and lean, rather than round and heavy, and it didn't scatter anything by accident. It targeted one animal specifically, cut an angle to intercept its path, and closed the gap in a controlled sprint that ended with the entire sounder exploding outward in every direction except toward it. The classic panic response prey animals show around an ambush predator, not a rival hog or a curious dog. What nobody expected was that this wasn't a one-off. Once word got around thermal pilot circles, and this is a small, tight community, mostly guys who talk to each other on operator forums and late-night group chats after a shift, at least 3 other ranches in nearby counties reported catching something similar within the same season. A heat signature too large and too fast to be a coyote, moving with a hunting style that didn't match anything in the routine catalog of bobcat, coyote, or loose dog. One pilot, describing his own clip weeks later, said it was like watching a shadow with a heartbeat move across his screen. One of those clips, from a ranch roughly 60 miles away, ran even longer than the original, nearly 40 seconds of usable footage before the animal broke off and vanished into a creek bed thick with cedar. In that clip, the shape doesn't sprint in a straight line the way a coyote would. It stalks. It drops low behind a rise in the terrain, holds still for almost 10 full seconds while the sounder settles, then closes the final stretch in total silence before the strike. Coyotes hunt hogs in packs, worrying at the edges of a group and picking off the weak or the very young. This was a single animal, alone, taking down a hog easily half its own body weight in one committed rush. Pilots who reviewed both clips side by side, comparing frame by frame, came away with the same unsettled reaction. Whatever this was, it hunted like something that didn't need to rely on numbers to win. Here's where it gets interesting, and where we have to be careful, because this is exactly the point where a story like this usually goes off the rails into pure speculation. So let's stick to what's actually documented. Mountain lions, cougars, were never fully wiped out of Texas the way they were in most eastern states. A resident breeding population has persisted in the Trans-Pecos region of far west Texas for decades, and Texas remains one of the only states where mountain lions have zero legal protection and can be killed at any time of year without a permit or a bag limit. But wildlife biologists have also documented something else happening quietly over the past 2 decades. Young male cougars dispersing east, well outside the traditional Trans-Pecos range, showing up on trail cameras and, occasionally, in vehicle strike reports across the hill country, and even closer to central Texas ranchland than anyone expected. Genetic testing on some of these wandering males has confirmed lineage traceable back to West Texas, and in a few striking cases, all the way to source populations in New Mexico, hundreds of miles from where they were caught on camera. In other words, the range isn't fixed on a map the way most people assume. It's leaking outward, animal by animal, mostly young males pushed out of established territory and searching for 2 things at once: ground nobody else is claiming, and something to eat along the way. And prey is exactly what a feral hog population represents, at a density most ecosystems in Texas haven't seen in over a century. This is the turning point the whole story pivots on. Because a hog boom isn't just a disaster for ranchers. Biologically, it's also a buffet. An unmanaged, low-risk, endlessly renewing food source, spread across exactly the kind of thick brush country cougars prefer for cover and ambush hunting. If a young cougar pushing east out of the Trans-Pecos happened to cross a ranch running a dense, poorly hunted hog population, it wouldn't need to be unusual behavior or desperation. It would just need to be opportunistic. Predators go where the food is easiest, and right now, in scattered pockets of Texas ranch country, the easiest food on offer is hogs. That's the theory circulating quietly among the pilots and a handful of biologists who've seen the footage informally, off the record, over coffee rather than in a published report. Nobody official has confirmed it. And that gap between what the thermal camera clearly recorded and what wildlife officials are willing to put their name to is exactly why the ranch won't say what it caught on camera. Because here's the layer underneath all of this that a lot of viewers miss. If that ranch confirms, on the record, that a mountain lion is actively hunting on their land, that triggers real, immediate consequences. Liability concerns the moment a hand or a paying hunting client is on foot anywhere in that pasture. Pressure from neighboring landowners suddenly worried about their own livestock and their own kids walking fence lines. Possible scrutiny from wildlife agencies wanting to track and study the animal, which could mean researchers, GPS collars, and outside personnel showing up on private land that ranch families have spent generations keeping closed off from anyone outside the operation. And there's a simpler reason too, one almost every rancher who's seen something like this admits quietly, off camera. If word gets out that a big cat is working that property, every trophy hunter and thrill seeker with a rifle and a truck will be calling within a week, and some won't wait for an invitation. Silence isn't a cover-up of danger. For a lot of these operations, it's protection. For the land, for the liability, and whether they'd say it out loud or not, for the animal itself. And there's a genuine ecological upside buried in all of this that rarely gets attention in a story built around mystery footage. A single adult cougar can kill and consume dozens of large mammals a year just to sustain itself, and a hog-dense ranch is about the easiest hunting ground a big cat could ask for. If even a handful of dispersing cougars are quietly settling into hog-saturated ranch country across Texas, they're doing for free, every single night, exactly what ranchers have spent tens of thousands of dollars on drones, batteries, and helicopter time trying to accomplish through sheer brute effort. Nature, in its own blunt and unsentimental way, may be re-establishing a predator-prey relationship that Texas spent over a century deliberately dismantling, back when wolves and cougars were trapped, poisoned, and shot out of most of the state to protect cattle. The hogs filled the vacuum those predators left behind. Now, one dispersing cat and one thermal drone at a time, something may finally be stepping back into it. None of this is confirmed science yet. It's a pattern, pieced together from scattered thermal clips passed between operators, dispersal data on wandering males collected over 2 decades of trail camera studies, and a handful of ranch managers who all give the same careful non-answer when you ask them directly what's living on their land. But patterns like this are usually how the biggest wildlife stories actually start. Not with a press release or a lab confirmation, but with one exhausted drone pilot staring at a grainy screen at 2 in the morning, watching something move in a way it was never supposed to move. So here's the question worth sitting with. For over a century, Texas ranchers fought hard to remove every apex predator from this land, believing it was the only way to protect their herds. And for just as long, they've been quietly losing a different war against an animal that predator was built by nature to keep in check. If the two problems are now solving each other in the dark, on camera, without anyone's permission, and without anyone officially confirming it, is that a threat worth naming out loud, or a balance worth leaving alone? Tell us what you think that thermal drone actually caught, and whether you think the ranch made the right call keeping it quiet.